and share today's live with the Quest Givers Guild. For those of you who are new to Mordekin's Eye, I'm Questmaster Mordekin, and I run the Quest Givers Guild. I run the quest of Mordekin's Eye in the Enchanted Land, and today I am playing my quest, a card game that I created that I'm going to play every day. It's one that you can play with me online here if you wish, and if you also wish, you can complete tasks, earn power levels, and build a routine. Because that's exactly what this game is created to do. Victoria, Victoria, it's good to have you back. Were you able to complete any of your prior quests from before? Let me know in the comments here. Tell me what you did. And I would love to follow up with more quests. Today, though, we are here to review. I brought the little mini mushroom man here. This is a derp made by my child. This is part of a craft made by the Dreamweaver. I put them together and made a little derp mushroom man. So he is going to be joining us today. That being said, let us continue our playing of the game. Yesterday we drew 3 cards, and I was able to complete all of them. With my family, we watched Xena Warrior Princess again. We've been enjoying this, and it has been an inspiring show. What it has encouraged me to do is not take myself too seriously. I have always wanted to be the badass. I've always wanted to be the person who was cool and doing the neat thing. And that hasn't necessarily changed. I still want to do cool things. But watching this show reminds me that there's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to our communal experience, and not taking ourselves too seriously is something that is very important to do. That being said, we completed that card together, me and my family. So I will mark off. Where did I put my marker? There it is. We have a dry erase card, which the game comes with. The table's kind of shaking there. And that's where we write the power level. So we have one extra one. Connect with at least one person who has similar financial or fiscal interests. Today and yesterday, I have contacted the Quest Givers Guild about this card, so that's what I will be doing. And the 7 of Spades. Do a new skill you have never tried, or practice an old skill using a different method. Until yesterday, I had still not successfully done juggling. And so, yesterday, I spent some time juggling. Why juggling in particular? Well, it accounts for focus, attention, and it's something that I can incorporate into my overall act at Renaissance fairs as I go questing, not just in the digital realm, but also in the material plane. So, I was able to complete these today, and voila, we have completed tasks. But why are we doing this? Why are we doing day after day, task after task? What is the point? Can't you just do things normally? What is the point of having a deck of cards to do this? Well, that is where the bond card comes in, and we have not yet activated the bond card. We need 9 power levels to do so. And we have leveled up to power level 6. Why power levels? Well, if any of you have ever watched Dragon Ball Z, you may know the inspiration for why this is a part of the game. After all, it's a game that I made. So the fun part of that is I got to name it whatever I want. So we are at power level 6 today. That being said, we do not yet have enough points, enough power levels, to connect a routine card to our bond card. So, at some point, we will have earned enough, and we will take one of our favorite cards that we've done so far, and we will bind it to the bond card. We will have to follow up with that in future videos. But that being said, we will now draw the next 3 cards. So I'm excited to see what kinds of tasks I will be doing today and what you might be doing as well, perhaps, if you are playing along with Mordekai's Eye. You can always send me an email at mordekai'seye@gmail.com if you want to learn more about the game or catch up. I have links on my website and my YouTube if you want to play it on your own. But if you're here to play it, I play it every day around 9 Mountain Time, and you're welcome to join me. That being said, Victoria, I have not heard back from you. How are you? Perhaps I forgot to ask the question? I thought I did. And I wonder, are you ready to draw the next card and see what it might be? Still waiting, I see. So, we will go ahead, and since we do not have many guests on, we will just speed through this next part. The 9 of Diamonds. Pause to think and ask a clarifying question before you respond to someone. Respond first with what you agree about. Interesting. That is a very specific process, you might say. The 9 in our deck of cards deals with the Harmonizer, the Peacemaker. It is an archetype that is based off of the Enneagram, if that's something that you're interested in. And so, naturally, something related to human connection, peacemaking, harmony, is a part of this card. The Diamond is a character-based card. It is something that is pointing towards our resources and how we relate to one another. It has to deal with our relationships. So the 9 of Diamonds says, pause to think and ask a clarifying question before you respond to someone. This is something that is a very good habit at any point in your life to learn to do more. Good morning, Malachi the Fallen. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. I'm glad that you showed up. In fact, we just drew the 9 of Diamonds. And this card specifically relates to something that you are on a mission to do. Communication and peacemaking, one might say. Your task, Malachi, if you so wish to accept it, is to pause and think, to ask a clarifying question before you respond to someone today. Now, the 9, side quest number 9, is tied towards resolving conflicts and things of that nature. But this card is just an opportunity for reflection. When we react to whatever's going around, when our response is a reaction, we generally are just in, one might say, a routine of prior experiences. We are responding the way that one might say we were programmed to respond. This card is inviting you to take ownership over this process and instead pause and reflect on what is being said and respond in the way you intend. Since this is the Harmonizer card, it specifically points out your opportunity to respond first with what you agree about. So Bishop Malachi, as you have come to our channel today, you are invited to tune your mind into this idea today. That's what I will be doing. My home has been working on focusing on this idea that what we agree upon is far more powerful than what we disagree upon. And although we may have to resolve our conflicts, the first thing we should do is start off on common ground. Where are we the same? Where do we see eye to eye right now? You will be surprised that there is quite a lot that we can find in common if that is where we place our attention. So the 9 of Diamonds today, very, very interesting. The 9 is always one of my favorite cards. And Bishop Malachi, have you been successful, I wonder, on any of the quests that you have gone on recently, be they in the Enchanted Land or from this channel? Let me know in the comments when you have an opportunity, but I am going to move on to the next card in the meantime. The King of Spades is next. This comes from my quest for anyone who's new to the channel. A deck of cards created to help you build a routine. Now, some of the tasks that are given to you will be things that can be done right away and instantly. Some of the tasks will require reflection or waiting for the right opportunity to arise. The King of Spades says to write down or reflect on 3 goals you want to accomplish in the next 3 months. Well, in about 3 months, I will be going to the Renaissance Celtic Festival, where the prophecy of the Hearthstone will be fulfilled, and where you might be able to meet characters like Bishop Malachi or others who journey with me. So, I will be reflecting on that today and going into my chrysalis where I will write down these activities and information. Bishop Malachi, you say, yes, I have gotten better with my meditation daily. I have been pushing forward on a goal I have been putting off. Good. I am glad to hear so. And as we continue to quest together, I would like to learn a little bit more about the details of your mission as a traveling bishop in the Enchanted Land. And over time, perhaps at our guild meeting today, as I believe you will be joining us at Lost Cultures T-Bar, we can work on this activity. The King of Spades. This is where we write down a few, goals? Yes, that we want to accomplish in the next 3 months. The spade is tied to our mind. It is also tied to things like skill, focus, and power. So that theme will generally show up when we have a spade-themed card. That being said, we have 2 cards today. Good. I'm glad that we will see you there, Bishop. We have 2 cards, but we need 1 more. And after completing these tasks, we will level up, and tomorrow will be the first day that we can bind a card to the bond card. So if you are curious about my quest, this game that I am playing every day, well, you can follow up tomorrow. You can see one of the live sessions. You can follow me on Instagram. However it is that you would like to connect to the quest of Mordenkainen's Eye as we play my quest. A card deck that not only helps you to build a routine in your life, but also helps you direct your focus to create a routine that will pursue your main quest in life, the thing that truly matters to you, that which you might say is most important. Well, what do we say? Are we ready for one last card? I think this guy's ready. So, let's see what we find. We have the 6 of Hearts, it looks like. And the 6 of Hearts is going to be a guild-based card. The 6 relates to the formation of loyalty, the formation of bonds, not between, not this kind of bond, but the bonds between characters, the bonds between people. The 6 of Hearts invites us to connect with at least one person who shares a common hobby or passion with you. This card exists to remind us of the importance of connecting with those who resonate on what some might call the same frequency, those who share the same vibes, you might say. It is an invitation to relate to others about something that you truly care about, something that makes you feel alive. One of the things that makes me feel most alive is roleplay, playing games, physical activities. And for this reason, I have joined groups like Amped Guard. This is a live-action role-playing game where we fight with foam swords and such. And also the reason that I have begun the Quest Givers Guild and started to go to various Renaissance fairs and events, where the Great Convocation will eventually occur. Wild Stravos 09, you have returned. Well, Wild Stravus 09, I would let you know that we drew the card of 9 today, and perhaps I will reveal it to you. I am glad that today is a good day for you. It is for me as well. Would you like to know the quest and the card of 9, I wonder, since it is in your name? Perhaps you, someday, may be of a harmonizer archetype. We will see once we eventually develop the roles in this role-playing game. To all who are new, I am Questmaster Mordekin. I am the quest giver of the Enchanted Land, and I am here to create a live-action role-playing game that solves real-world problems. This is a part of my main quest, something that is not completed, and very likely will take the rest of my life to do. But in the meantime, I have begun by taking small steps, and I created a card game that solves real-world problems. A card game that will help you to build a routine in your life, one that is focused towards your main quest and what is truly important to you. If any of you heard that, that was my cat, Face. She was singing the song of her people. It is a tune that she sings several times a day. Well, Wild Stravos, regardless of your response, because I have not received it yet, I am going to once again go over the cards. So, if you are interested, you have a quest today. Pause to think. And ask a clarifying question before you respond to someone today. This card is inviting you to think about how quickly you react, how quickly you respond to what is said to you, and to perhaps take a moment to pause and reflect on what it is that you truly have to say, what is true. The next part of the card is then to focus on, first, in your response, what you agree about. This is part of the harmonizer aspect of my quest, and it is here as a card to remind you that on our journey that we go on together, harmony is a key factor. Focusing on what we agree upon is going to be far more potent and powerful in getting us where we want to go, and in resolving the solutions to any problems that we do end up facing. So if you so choose to accept it, or anyone who so chooses to accept this quest, please say I accept or post an I in the chat today. Well, today has been a mild day of activity in the chat. And I do want to, though, give us a moment to pause and reflect and think if there's anything that you all have to say, any other questions that you have before I continue on with my day. Today I am meeting the commander, the one who guides us to Enchanted Festival to Enchanted Festival, the one who leads the Renaissance Celtic Fair in Edgewood, and we are going to go make plans to see if various guilds and groups might be able to join us for that festival. More details will come, and if you have the Synchronicity newsletter, you are sure to hear more about the details of what we discuss. Well, I think we lost Wild Stravos. I believe he is gone, and we still have about one person here. So I am about to hop off, but I will pause for just a few more moments as I reflect and make sure that we have done everything that we ought to do today. I think I know how I would like to end today's stream, with a quote from a very special person, someone who has been very influential in my life, although I've never met them. I have certainly been inspired by their work. The quote is this: "If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool." If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. This is on the Nine of Diamonds card because it is extremely easy to put things down that we don't understand. When someone speaks or acts in a way that we do not understand, to critique or to judge it. I hope you can hear my cat because that's what I'm laughing at. To judge my cat is to not understand my cat. I do not understand why Face makes these noises. And we do not always understand why other humans, other inhabitants of our planet, behave in certain ways. Our folly can be in deeming these individuals fools because we do not understand them. Today, the Nine of Diamonds and Carl Jung, yes, we must not judge the cat, invite you to hold back a lens of judgment today. To instead focus, maybe, on where we agree. Perhaps there is something howling deep inside of thee, Space Boots, yes? Something that needs to be said. But it is best if we pause and reflect, and we say what we truly have to say. So, I will leave our chat with that today. Something to reflect on. That instead of deeming others a fool, instead of speaking things that might be out of our own ignorance, perhaps it is time to pause and reflect and focus our attention on where we agree, on where we can see eye to eye, and what we can do from that place. I'm on a quest to eat some ramen. Well, Dag Silgad, I wish you the best of success on your quest. Love the streams, man. Watched a few times now. Space Boots, that is very encouraging. Thank you. I will be here every day around 9 Mountain Time. If there is a better time to be here or on another platform, I am all ears. My desire is to share with anyone who is intrigued my interest in this game that I created and the way of thinking that developed it. Anyone who wishes to share in and partake in this kind of thinking, if you find it beneficial for yourself, you're welcome to join me for free. I am not necessarily here to sell anything, although if you are interested, I have a way that you can purchase it. I am here to develop the craft of speaking about my game and seeing how others relate to it. I am also here to do the full test run of the whole game. The thing is this game doesn't take 30 minutes to play. It takes maybe 100 days, and you have to play it every day. Sort of. If you are interested in continuing to play, join me. Subscribe to my channel. Perhaps send me an email at mordekinseye@gmail.com. I normally have a little box up here that shows you my email, but it's gone. Dag Silgad, thank you. I appreciate you telling me that you like my style. Something I've been working on, in fact. Speaking of style, I can't find my red sunglasses, which are one of my pride and joys. I love my red sunglasses, so maybe next time I will find them. That being said, I wanted to see if there was any other questions about my quest, about the quest cards, or anything of that nature, as I will be posting them online. You can see what today's quest cards are if you would like. And if there's any final questions, I will pause for a minute or two and see if you have anything to say. I was about to end it a few minutes ago, but then you started talking. Yes, the March of the Derps is coming, Bishop Malachi. I trust you still have your own derps. In the end of March and the beginning of April, the great March of the Derps will ensue. And these little creatures, and all who have one, or make one, can join us as we parade around the festival grounds of the Renaissance Celtic Festival. So, I eagerly look forward to seeing them, and perhaps your derps, Bishop Malachi, will have stories to tell of their journeys to their other fellow derps. It will be a wonderful sight to see, I am sure. I love that. We got a bunch of gnomes. Not porcelain, some kind of plastic. They need to be painted, but it's a nativity scene, a gnome nativity scene, and I think it's time to whip that out. So thank you for reminding me, Bishop. This is why we connect and relate to each other, yes? Because when you find those who you resonate with, you find a little bit of yourself. And every day you're reminded of who you are. So the key then is to place our time, attention, and energy on a few things. One, connecting with people who we share common hobbies and passions with. Yes? The goals that we want to accomplish in the next few months. Perhaps the March of the Derps will unfold, Bishop. And the 9 of Diamonds, being focusing on what we agree upon. You will find that sometimes those who you have deemed a fool are just like you. And once you understand them, you understand parts of who you are as well. That being said, I'm going to close out today. So thank you one and all who have come, whether you watched the live or whether you are on here and watching it post live. I will see you around.